From promoting accountability to cutting corners and negating quality, here are 3 reasons having a solid business system in place is crucial. Number 1, having a good business system helps to avoid miscalculations. A system develops accountability for each step to ensure that missing tasks and gray areas are recognized, identified, and rectified, which is exactly what was needed to avoid the Lake Prenier drilling disaster in Louisiana. 1,500 feet below the lake rested a salt mine. In 1980, Texaco was granted permission to drill for oil in the same lake. The lake itself was only 120 feet deep. However, due to an engineering miscalculation, the drill hit the roof of the salt mine, causing a leak, which ultimately resulted in a large whirlpool developing, pulling down 2 oil rigs, 11 barges, and a tugboat. 3.5 billion gallons of water drained from the lake in the mine. It took 2 days for the lake to fill back up, pulling water from the Gulf of Mexico. It was the only time in history the Mississippi River traveled upstream. This proves how missing a single detail, step, or communication can cause more than a mishap. Number 2, having a good business system in place promotes following protocols and procedures. Examples of this would be a checklist, a weekly or daily inspection, or even a pre-game walkthrough to ensure all procedures have been adhered to. This business system would have been very beneficial to the Turkish Flight 981. In the spring of 1974, the DC-10 took flight from Turkey to Britain with over 340 passengers and crew on board. About 10 minutes into the flight, a hole formed in the bottom of the plane, pulling passengers down. The pilot lost control of the plane and crashed into pieces in the forest, with no survivors. The cause? Someone forgot to lock the latch inside of the plane. So when the plane began to take pressure on, the door popped open and literally operated like a vacuum. This proves that following protocols and procedures can prevent catastrophic consequences, ones that cannot be reversed. Now, finally, the last reason having a good business system in place is crucial. Number 3, having a solid and consistent business system helps to avoid cutting corners, promotes realistic goal setting, and allows for reliable assessments of performance, quality control. This approach and mindset was much needed, and it could have been prevented for the disaster of Sampoon Department Store in Seoul, South Korea. See, the owner wanted to make his building the most impressive, so he demanded that there be a 5th floor added to the building. Because the foundation and walls were already up, this meant the construction workers would have had to reduce the height of the ceilings and jeopardize the structural integrity of the building. When his construction workers refused to perform the task, he fired them, hired a new team, and bribed some 20 plus officials to continue with the work. In '89, Sampoon Department Store opened its doors to the public, and by the mid '90s, the department store averaged about 40,000 customers a day. However, in '96, maintenance workers reported a gas leak from the 4th floor, but they were told not to make any repairs. Later that week, the 5th floor collapsed and every floor below it all the way to the ground, resulting in 500 deaths and an additional 900 injuries. Because the owner knew about the building issues, the police did an investigation, which led to the ultimate conviction and sentencing 7.5 years of the owner, while 20 plus officials who had taken the bribes were also arrested. Now, although these stories referenced may appear to be extreme to some, it is an ironclad example of why you must make sure your business has a system in place to make sure you are consistent and efficient with delivering products and services, to ensure that procedures in place are followed, and to make sure accountability is assigned when completing each task. Now, the hire system was designed to provide preventative and intervention services that will reduce liabilities due to haphazard business operations while increasing productivity and profits for your business, thus improving the overall performance of your business health. The hiring system will ensure that your business doesn't become a disaster story. Until next time, be educated, be enlightened, and be empowered. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. to Business Code Chronicles on YouTube. See you soon.